Hi friends, it's Kimmy from Lumerize. I'm really glad you're here. Today, I want to share something close to my heart. This isn't a political post. That is not my aim. But recently, I've watched so many friends and loved ones turn against each other over politics. And I've watched others drive wedges on purpose because they want everyone to pick a side. This is hurting us. It's hurting our friendships, families, churches, and neighborhoods. It fractures our community, and community is actually what keeps us mentally and emotionally healthy. Lumerize is being built to strengthen that kind of community. Real connection, real conversation, real care. But the more we drive that wedge, the harder the bridge becomes to build. And here's something I've come to believe very deeply. Division causes implosions, but love creates unity. When you're trying to love everyone the way Jesus commanded, it gets hard because each side is so convinced that the other is evil, always wrong, horrible for our country, and even the enemy. And when both sides feel that way, loving them doesn't seem simple. It feels like you're standing in the middle of a battlefield, just trying to keep your heart open. Here is what I have learned in my own life, and maybe it will help you too. When I'm talking with someone who sees things very differently from me, whether it's about life, choices, values, or beliefs, the most important thing I can do is this. I listen. I don't have to fight, convince, or win an argument. I choose to listen. Because underneath every viewpoint is a person that carries experiences, hurts, fears, and hopes just like I do. Things that I cannot fully understand, at least not yet. And the more I listen, the more I can see the person's humanity. I've also learned that listening isn't just about paying attention to the other person. It's also about paying attention to what's happening inside of me. And I'll be honest, I've had many moments where I felt the urge to convince someone or jump in and share my perspective in a way that was a little too forceful. It's not uncommon. We all care very deeply about what we believe. Sometimes that intensity comes from a very good place. It's just not always helpful in the moment. So, here's what I do instead. When I feel that tightening in my chest or the heat rising in my body, that internal alarm, I first recognize it. Then I take a few deep breaths. Then I let them finish. This is not about suppressing my voice. It's about being present long enough just to actually understand theirs. And then when they're done, I choose something different. I choose something that builds a bridge instead of a wall. I merely ask, would you like to hear my opinion? That simple question does two things. It respects their autonomy and gives them a chance to welcome my voice instead of bracing against it. Sometimes that person puts up a guard immediately, and if that happens, I know it's not the right time. There's no need to force my way into the conversation just because my opinion is different. That's part of maturity, discerning the right time and allowing the other person to invite our perspective instead of trying to dominate. Before I wrap up, I want to say something about social media. Division doesn't just happen face to face. We see it online every single day. Both political sides do it, and honestly, it's terrible how we treat each other behind the screen. Online, it becomes easy to spew anger, shame people, or argue endlessly with strangers we can't even see. And here's the truth. No one has ever been convinced by an online shouting match. That outcome is actually the opposite. Each side walks away feeling validated that the other side is crazy, extreme, or violent. Every time we pick up our phone, we have choices. We can read, we can scroll past, we can ignore, we can even unfriend. We decide whether social media becomes a battleground or a place for connection. I know exactly who posts things I completely disagree with online. Sometimes I'll read their posts, and sometimes I choose to ignore it and move on. Either way, I choose not to dive into an online debate, not out of avoidance, but because those exchanges don't change hearts. They just spew anger and deepen the division. So, here's a simple invitation for you. The next time you find yourself in a conversation where there's tension or disagreement, take a pause, take a breath, and ask yourself, can I listen instead of trying to win? Can I see the person, not just their viewpoint? Can I respond with love instead of division? Because when we respond with love, we plant seeds, and those seeds can break cycles of division. We can open doors that division will always slam shut. Love may not fix everything overnight, but it always leaves us a better path behind us. That's why I try to do this every day. I am very far from perfect, but this is the heart of Limerize, a place where healing, love, and understanding can grow. If this speaks to you, share it with someone who needs the reminder. And remember, we all have the power to be bridge builders, not wall builders. Let's choose love. For updates, encouragement, and to follow the journey, visit limerize.net. Thank you for watching. We appreciate you.